Yeah, hi. This is Dr. Perry, and welcome to another part in my series on God, where with this sort of flow chart, easily demonstrate to the logical and rational mind the fact that evolution supports and defends religion. All right. Now, I need to point out that evolution, from my perspective, is probably a little bit slightly different from the evolution you might be familiar with, because mine is an evolution that's defined by it being SIAD, it's SIAD evolution, and not random evolution, because the mathematicians have figured out that the possibility of evolution just being random, where you have 99.9% of what's it called, mutations being bad, is actually impossible. But let's leave that for another day. So we understand from evolution that natural selection is one of the essential criteria of it. And what does natural selection state? It basically states that heritable traits, the good traits, become more common, whereas unfavorable traits are basically dumped, tossed out. That's what natural selection states. And what are traits? From Free Dictionary Online, we see that traits are distinguishing features as of a person's character. Now, from our basic evolutionary psychology understanding, we have traits that have been developed over time, like memory, language, perception, religion, and the like. Now, whether these traits, were developed by man over time, or whether they were sired or given to the first man, is also a topic for another day. But let's just go by the basic evolutionary principles as is popularly known. So, religion is one of these evolutionary traits that has been favored over time, and we have evidence of it existing since over 150,000 years ago. This is figured out from burial rituals, which is part of religion, and we have some that were found in South Africa about 70,000 years ago. So basically, religion has been found with man, you know way as like since the beginning of man. We found religion with man thousands of years ago. And not only that, but the distribution of it from one pole to the opposite pole, both ends of the world, you have people independently developing religious behavior. So religion is highly successful behavior because it has developed, it has persisted over time, and developed across the world. Now, the definition of a successful trait is not when you have some crazy mad professor somewhere, some Dawkins guy or some Hitchens guy saying, hey, this trait is successful, that trait is not. No, that is absolutely not how it works. How we determine evolutionarily successful traits is their persistence over time and their distribution. If it's persisted, if it stayed with us, then it's automatically successful. And if that organism is thriving and surviving. All right. So a typical example that illustrates this very clearly is when H. pylori was discovered, which is the bacteria that causes peptic ulcer disease. A Nobel Prize was given for the people who figured this out. And doctors in America were going, they're excited. They wanted to start prescribing prophylactic antibacterials to wipe out H. pylori colonizing stomachs of people to prevent peptic ulcer disease. Now, luckily, before this happened, studies now found out that H. pylori was actually a wonderful bacteria, not a nuisance in us that should be wiped out. Because they found out that in the United States you have a high use of what's it called of antibiotics in the general population, and this was wiping out the H. pylori level, and it leads to increased prevalence of throat cancer. The reason being, H. pylori is an altruistic organism. It kills itself to, when the acidity level is high in the stomach, it kills itself to neutralize this so that its fellow bacteria survive and thrive. In the process, it helps us to regulate our acid levels and was helping protect us from more serious effects of high acidity like throat cancer. So the relationship between us and H. pylori was found out to be positive and symbiotic and not a negative relationship. So when you just look off the top of your head at traits and evolutionary traits, you don't just say this is successful, that's not. Usually the traits that persist and thrive and survive automatically are successful, even if the reasons haven't been figured out yet. Therefore, religion is evolutionary success. It's thrived, it's spread, and it's there. And to abandon it would be as unsafe as abandoning all other traits we might have, like language, memory, perception, and other basic characteristics like reproduction, family relationships, feeding. Every other trait we have cannot, religion cannot be abandoned, as those other traits cannot be abandoned, because it would be totally detrimental to the survival of the human race. All right, thanks for listening to my very, very simple and straightforward presentation on this, and watch out for more explaining God. Peace.